Hello YouTube, this is Haunting Studios, and in today's video, we just got a look at Home Depot's 2024 lineup in action. This might be one of the best lineups yet, so let's get right into it, because this is just phenomenal. Alright, so the first animatronic we have to look at is the 12-foot animated levitating Reaper. This guy is just a showstopper right here. This is a 12-foot tall Reaper with this towering, massive scythe over him. He's just floating above you in the air. This guy has multiple different color options, so you can change the color of his chest and his head. And I believe there's an option where they'll fade between each other as well, which is just going to look awesome. This guy has servo motors in his head, which just allows him to just have really awesome motion and realistic look in the head movement, which really looks phenomenal, especially with this awesome height. This guy's definitely going to be a piece that sells out, especially for the price of $300. That is a steal for this thing, because for that same price you could get a 12-foot skeleton. But what are people going to get, 12-foot skeleton or this guy? I have a feeling most people are going to go towards this guy, because just look how awesome this is. And look at those different color options as you can see on the screen right now. They really look phenomenal. That's another reason I really like him. Other than that, I really like his color scheme. He is kind of inspired by the Beastcraft Reaper, but other than that, I really don't have any other cons about him. I think he's phenomenal, and definitely a piece that I may actually consider picking up.
Mortals, bear witness.
This Halloween, he will reap what he sows. Hovering high above the ground, the 12-foot animated levitating Reaper surveys his earthly hunting ground, seeking fresh souls and bringing death from above.
You are merely ants in my game of death and destruction.
Enormous hands clutch an even bigger scythe and staff, while tattered black robes conceal this grim ghoul. Against the dark of night, this floating phantom emanates an array of colors. Let them cycle with time, or select your scare with the hue most horrifying. Catch his ageless, lifeless eye, and the 12-foot animated hovering Reaper will tell you your fate. His head and jaw coming to life with realistic motion as he speaks.
You may attempt to flee, but the darkness shall swallow you whole.
This fright night, it's not the chill autumn air that cuts deepest. The 12-foot animated levitating Reaper, only at the Home Depot.
Alright, the next animatronics we have up on our list is the 7.5-foot animated trickster trio. So these guys are not just one, not just two, but 3 animatronic clowns that you can either have as separate clowns, or you can stack them all 3 on top of each other to make them 7.5 feet tall and make them the trickster trio stack. These guys are awesome. They each have animated mouths, and the one on the top with his hammer he can move. These guys are great, especially with all the circus stuff we've been getting this year. I think this is the perfect year for these guys to come out. I love the fact that you can unstack them and have them as individual clowns, because it really depends on where you want them in a scene. Like if you don't have like the roof or like the space, or you have some more clowns and you just want to even out that space a little bit, that's great, because then you can have some smaller clowns. But if you want some bigger clowns, you can stack them all up together, and there you go, you have a big clown. So it's a great way to fill out your clown space, if you see what I'm saying here. Anyways, these guys are great, and especially for, I believe the price is $200 on these guys. That is an amazing value, and definitely something you're not going to see anywhere else. So definitely one you may want to consider if you're doing a clown theme this year.
It's the perfect night for some devious pranks.
Indeed! You do well to steer clear of the 7.5-foot animated trickster trio. These terrifying triplets have one thing in mind, and it isn't minding their own business. Their LED eyes glow a bright yellow, green, and red. The top terror is covered in sinister stripes, while the middle menace wears a punchy purple and gold. And the anchor antic is adorned in black and red. Be sure to watch your head as they goad you closer, swinging their heavy hammer, jaws open and closing with realistic motion.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Hush! Enough jokes!
Philip. Philip who? Fill up my bag with candy.
Display each fearsome fool separately for a carnival of coverage. Or stack them up high, one on top of the other, for maximum madness. However you handle this handful, you'd better give them what they want, or they'll make sure your fright night is an absolute smash!
Trick or treat!
The 7.5-foot animated trickster trio. Only at the Home Depot.
This next piece is certainly a game changer. This is the 3.5-foot animated servo Chucky animatronic. This guy is just super, super advanced. So let me just tell you, he has servo eyes, servo head, he turns his body, his arm can stab, and he also has servo lips so he can do a creepy smile. This guy just defines what the Home Depot can do with their licensing, and why I'm so glad we don't have to rely on companies like Gemmy and Spirit for licenses anymore, because, well, Spirit has been stepping it up a little bit. Gemmy has just been falling more deeper and deeper into the pit, and comparing this to the recent Gemmy Chucky we got, it's like night and day, man. I mean, look at that. You saw that creepy servo smile? That's just impressive. We have not seen anything like that in retail up until now. I'm so glad we're starting to see servo, look, emotion in animatronics. That is awesome. Even if it's more uncanny emotion, that's still impressive, and I'm sure they will build off of this technology in the future. Like we're already seeing, you'll see later on this video, the Fear Valley Wolf that has snarling lips as well. So this motion is super advanced. I'm so glad to see it in retail, and this piece is just perfect. I've wanted to see a servo Chucky for a while, so definitely one I'm going to have to pick up. That's a must for this guy.
Go ahead and shoot. I'll be back. I always come back.
Some scares stay with you for years. Everything else is just child's play. As they say, you just can't keep a good guy down. Friends, meet Chucky.
I have had it. That's it. There is a limit to how much I can take.
Standing 3.5 feet tall, this freckled relic of the 1980s is everyone's best friend and worst enemy. He may look innocent enough in his striped shirt and overalls, but play at your own risk. The 3.5-foot animated Chucky is motion sensor activated. His head and body start to move, and watch this blue-eyed brat come to life. Just like in the movies, watch in horror as the dead-eyed doll wakes and begins to move, blink, and speak.
As a doll, I'm infamous. I'm one of the most notorious slashers in history, and I don't want to give that up.
But the 3.5-foot animated Chucky doll isn't toying around.
I am Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it!
This Halloween, there's a new kid on the block. And he's only at the Home Depot.
The next piece we have up is the 8.5-foot animated Night Dollahan. Now, this guy, he's not really my exact cup of tea, but I do find him really cool. I do respect him, but he is $380, so not one I think I'll be picking up this season. I like the concept of him though, this skeleton horseman. We don't really see this outside of Headless Horseman, so this is really awesome. And the Knight Dollahan is actually a character from Folklore, so again, another Folklore animatronic, kind of like the Wendigo that we saw from Party City last year. This guy, just really cool. The detail on him is phenomenal. I can definitely see where they put the $380 price tag into. He does look to be fairly decently animated too, like the horse's head moves a little bit, the knight's mouth moves, and his arm moves as well. I do feel like he is a bit stiff for that $380 price tag, but again, I feel like you're paying for that build other than the movement. But he does speak 6 phrases, and we've only heard like one of them, so he may make up for it in his phrases. But other than that, I don't really have too much to say about this guy. He's not really my favorite of the year, but definitely one that's pretty cool. There's not really anything bad in this lineup, I would say.
Come closer, weary traveler.
Lost, are we? Saddle up with Ireland's own nogginless nightmare. The 8.5-foot Knight Dollahan. In the crow-black night, his red LED eyes smolder like 2 hot coals. His menacing mouth and exposed chest radiate with rage. Rearing in excitement, this massive mare has glowing red eyes that give a ghoulish glow. Be the unfortunate one who captures their attention, and the two come alive. The horse's head moves up and down as its rider's arm swings wide. Head in hand, the horseman's jaw begins to move as he delivers one of 6 thrilling threats.
I'll give you a running start. I do enjoy the chase and earning my trophies. Time's up. Here I come.
If you're looking for a Halloween ride or die, you found it. The 8.5-foot Knight Dollahan. Only at the Home Depot.
The next animatronic we have up is the 7-foot animated Plague Doctor. This guy is awesome. Definitely the best Plague Doctor we have gotten yet. This outdoes the Spirit one. This outdoes the Halloween Costumes one that just got released today. Halloween Costumes video coming later, I promise. This takes priority though, this is crazy. I love the EL wires throughout his outfit. That's going to look great in the dark, and it's going to let him light up so great. He also has color changing eyes, which I think look awesome. I like the blue, the greens, the purples that he changes throughout, so I think that's an awesome addition. He also has a strobing staff that also looks great. I think that will look phenomenal in the dark. This is a prop that in the dark is just gonna look phenomenal and will blow people away.
He was known for walking through dark, narrow alleys and visiting his patients who were knocking on death's door. Our 7-foot-tall animated Plague Doctor has the terrifying, iconic mask that has haunted dreams since the 16th century. But we added an innovative twist with green EL wire and color-changing eyes, highlighting the haunting mask. We know the mask is enough to make you close your eyes with fear, but make sure you keep them open so you see the lifelike movements of this piece, with my favorite being the cane, which lunges forward to find his next doom patient. If all that wasn't scary enough, our Plague Doctor has a ghastly bedside manner with voice lines that will make you squirm with terror.
There is evil here. I will rid you of it.
This next piece is an animatronic. I've been back and forth about this entire season, and now I can finally say that I am a fan and I kind of want to pick him up. It's the 7-foot animated Captain Cuts. I do not do a nautical theme, but just this guy's animation, he looks like an audio animatronic you would see on a Disney attraction like the Pirates of the Caribbean. This guy has servos in his head, he has servo eyes blinking, and he has a body tilt, and his sword arm moves. This movement all combined together, whenever it's programmed well, he looks phenomenal. This guy looks like a real person almost. I mean, in the more and more photos I've been seeing of him, he looks less and less cartoony. That was my original big con with him, is that he looked a little too cartoony for a pirate, but the more and more I see him, he looks more and more scary. So this guy's phenomenal, and I'm not sure, I may be picking him up. I don't do a nautical theme, but I just am a huge fan.
If the Plague Doctor didn't scare the life out of you, I know encountering Captain Cuts on the high seas will. To capture the essence of pirates of old, we made sure to include the greatest detail possible. His first mate, Parrot, helps him target every foe before his sword strikes down his enemies in battle. Inspired by last year's fan favorite, Lethal Lily the Witch, we modeled his facial movements after her. Pay special attention to how the servo motors move both the real eye and the skull and crossbones glass eye. These tiny motors capture the slightest movements to add to his realism. His eyebrows, beard, aged skin, and scars show how tough of a life our captain had on the seas. This piece has 5 lifelike movements, including a new swaying motion from his time on the water.
Here be another scallywag to join me crew.
The next piece we have up is the Murderous Maple. This is a showstopper piece, especially if you have a wooded area that you do your haunt. That this piece would definitely look phenomenal in that area. This guy, I believe he's going to be retailing for about $250, which that is just insane. He's going to fly off of shelves, especially for that price. He's 9 feet tall, so he's just 1 foot shy of 10, but that's not going to matter. I have a feeling people are going to buy this guy in multiples, so they're going to have like 3 or 4 of them in their yard, and that is just going to look awesome. But that's also going to make him a hard piece to find, so if you do want this guy, this is one you're definitely going to want to keep your eyes on, because I have a feeling he's going to fly fast.
Now that we have fully explored the fearsome foes of the 16th century, let's travel a few hundred years and see what the 19th century holds for our Halloween fans this year. Our inspiration for the next 3 characters comes from the scariest things lost travelers may have encountered deep within a European forest. First, we have the 9-foot-tall, fully molded Murderous Maple. With integrated color change LED lights, no attention to detail was missed on this piece. Whether you want a constant change of color, pick your favorite one to cast an eerie glow, the lights really accentuate the details our team put into the Murderous Maple. If you look closely, you may see some lost traveler souls trying to escape through the cursed bark.
This next piece is a piece I've been a fan of since whenever he first got revealed. However, seeing more and more stuff come out, I have a feeling this is one that I'm probably going to have to wait till in stores to purchase. However, he's just so awesome, and I'm so glad to see him finally in good prop form. This is the 7-foot animated Nosferatu. The only other Nosferatu we have seen is the one from Morbid, which just sucked. And we have not seen too many modern vampire animatronics in retail, so very glad to see another modern vampire to actually come out. This guy looks great, his outfit looks very high quality, his phrases that we've heard look amazing since some people have this guy already. I'm a super huge fan of this prop, and although there have been a lot of awesome stuff revealed, this is one that I'm going to have to take as a priority, and I'm definitely going to have to pick him up this season, because he's just so cool. I'm such a huge fan, I can't pass this guy up.
Next, we have the 7-foot-tall Victorian vampire. When you think Halloween, vampires are at the top of the list of iconic creatures. Our team has been working on this piece for a long time, trying to perfect our version of a vampire, and we couldn't be more proud of this piece. This classic villain can be the centerpiece of your display, or it can accent any collection. I love the detailing within his teeth, his eyebrows, and the realism of his clothing. His movements really make those details stand out even more. This well-dressed count also comes with 6 different phrases with a voice so chilling, it will keep you looking over your shoulder every time you pass by a haunting display.
Soon you shall lie there too.
This next piece is one that I am just thrilled by. This is the Fear Valley Wolf. This guy looks super impressive in action. Whenever I saw the photos of him, I was very excited. I didn't know what to expect with the lip movement, but now that I've seen it in action, I'm in love. Especially seeing this and seeing the other application with this movement on Chucky. I am very happy that this movement is in retail now, and they've implemented it perfectly into these animatronics. This looks super realistic. I cannot wait to see how people react to this in a haunt. This guy would look great in a wooded area, and especially around a couple of other werewolves. So I have a couple other werewolves, and my haunt is conveniently in a wooded area, so definitely one I'm going to have to pick up this season.
This next feral beast is one of our most innovative and will be sure to strike fear in the heart of your trick-or-treaters and Halloween party guests. This is our Fear Valley Wolf. The Fear Valley Wolf incorporates our newest movement to be brought to market. We have utilized servo motors to replicate the snarling of a real wolf. As he gets angry, his lips lift to expose his teeth. His ears move back and forth, and his tail moves to show you that he means business. The exposed flesh amongst his thick black fur are battle scars from defending his top spot as the leader of the pack.
The next animatronic we have up is Jack of Spades. This guy is awesome. He has a neat feature where you can have him either sitting or standing. I love the concept of him, this like gangster card playing skeleton. He also has a neat animation where not only does his mouth move, his head turns, and his arm also moves so he can look like he's taking some smokes off of his cigar, which is actually kind of funny. But other than that, this guy's really cool. I think he's going to look great with Marie and Dean. Definitely a piece to go great with them. I believe he's $150, so great price as well. And the sitting and standing feature is a great addition with him. Definitely an awesome piece if you have either two of those animatronics to put them with.
A couple years ago, we introduced the world to our favorite bartender, Dean the Deathologist. And this year, we want to introduce you to one of his regulars. This is Jack of Spades. Jack was definitely influenced by a classic mobster vibe. We gave this skeleton a golden color to make him stand out from the other guests at Dean's bar. Make sure you study him closely for all the unique details incorporated into him. He has a lit cigar and a glass of bourbon that he raises to his mouth, a skull ring, and even an unlucky dead man's hand. What is really unique and innovative about this piece is customers can choose to have Jack standing, or they can use the included base to have him seated at a bar or their very own poker table.
Now this next piece is one piece that's going to put spirit to shame. This is the 7-foot animated Marionette witch. Now, this witch is awesome. I like the marionette concept we've got going here. I like the arms that go up and down and the legs that kick and her mouth moves. Her eyes also light up as well. But this guy reminds me of a certain animatronic we've seen at Spirit this year, Bobby Strings. And Bobby Strings is $310. But this marionette witch is only $100. This is putting spirit to shame right here. This is pretty much the same animatronic but a witch for so much cheaper. Such a great value right here. This is a phenomenal piece. Definitely shout out to you for Home Depot for getting the price down on this one.
In 2019, I visited Prague and stumbled upon a marionette shop down the back alley. Their handmade, carved marionettes look so unique, they look like something out of a different era. Those pieces of art are what inspired this year's Marionette Witch. The hands and face are molded perfectly to give her a handcrafted look and feel. The strings bring life, but also hold her back and protect you from her spells. The only thing more impressive than her design is the value. We were able to provide this to customers at a price of $99.
Our final piece for the Home Depot 2024 lineup is the 6.5-foot animated soul slasher. This guy is awesome. I love the look of him. I love the phrases. We did get to hear a little bit of the phrases on this guy. He's going to look great with the Sitter of Souls. I like the pointing animation on him. Really cool. And I believe he's only $100, so again, another great value piece coming out from Home Depot.
Another favorite of mine with a value under $100 is our Soul Slasher. This piece is the perfect partner for our Sitter of the Souls from last year's Deadwater collection. The Soul Slasher is an imposing 6.5 feet high. I love his arm movement and how he calls out his next victim. His haunting voice is a perfect fit to his frightening look.
What do we have here?
Alright, I believe that's going to do it for this video. Make sure to let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the Home Depot 2024 lineup. Let me know what's your favorite and what's your least favorite down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your opinions. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out and the channel a ton. And hit that bell if you haven't already, so that you make sure to never miss one of my new uploads. Anyways, I think this is going to do it for this video. This has been Haunting Studios. I will see you guys in the next one. Happy haunting.